What is up guys, it's Cal, and in this video we'll be doing the new Blackrock Depths Pet Battle Dungeon introduced in patch 8.3. Now this is the final Pet Battle Dungeon for this expansion at least, so all the Pet Battle Dungeons have essentially led up to this moment. By that I mean, you know, at the end of each Pet Battle Dungeon there was a shadowy figure that would appear that kind of just ran away? Well, now we get to fight all of those shadowy figures. So anyways, to start off, you want to talk to Tizzy Gearjolt for Alliance or Radek Fuselock as Horde, just like always, and they want you to meet Burke Macklin, an NPC outside of Blackrock Depths. Now, in case you figure out how to get to Blackrock Depths, well, you can use your Grim Guzzler controller, if you have one, like I am, or you'll just fly into Blackrock Mountain, then go to the area close down by the lava where there's an entryway to go into. You'll see a Blood Elf there who can port you to Molten Core, but go in the entryway past a bunch of dwarves, and you'll head by the entrance of Blackrock Depths to Burt Macklin. Now Burt will ask you to stop the shadowy figures. He also sells various pets which we'll get to at the end, but for all these pet battle dungeons there's an easy version and a hard version. The easy version allows you to revive your pets throughout the dungeon whenever you want, but in this video we'll of course be talking about the harder version, which does not allow you to revive your pets at all. So you do need a lot of level 25 pets to be able to do this. So I'll go ahead and tell you what pets I used so you can make a grocery list of pets if you want, but these pets aren't of course the only pets you can use. If you found other teams more helpful, then please leave it in the comments below. But the pets I used are Macabre Marionette, Draenei Micro Defender with a speed that's greater than 285, Bone Shard, Wildhammer Griffin, Mechanical Pandaren Dragonling, Sky Bow, Lifelike Mechanical Boar, Summit Kid, Little Black Ram, Dream Whelpling, Fire Beetle, Zandalari Kneebiter, Tricorn, Lovebird Hatchling, Eula, Broodling of Yulon, a Lava Beetle with more than 1460 health, Chitterspine Skitterling, Lil Bling, Microbot XD with more than 259 attack, a Cursed Hexer, and any elemental pet with more than 1600 health. Now make sure you have more level 25 pets than that to just fill up your team, but a lot of the times I didn't end up getting to my third pet in my lineup. So first matchup is with Horu Cloudwatcher. You'll want your Macabre Marionette with Macabre Maraca as the first attack and Dead Man's Party as the third. The second attack doesn't matter. Then Draenei Micro Defender with Batter as first and Explode as third. Second doesn't matter again. And then for your third pet, have something with a large attack. I used a Dark Moon Tonk for example because of its ion cannon. So you'll start with Dead Man's Party, which will continue for a few turns, then Macabre Maraca. Macabre Maraca again, his first pet should die, so his second pet, Beta, comes in. Just use Dead Man's Party until your pet dies, then bring in Draenei Micro Defender. Use Batter, then Batter again, and his third pet should come in. Use Batter, then Batter again, then Explode, and you'll want one last good hit on him. So bring in your third pet and do some hard hitting ability to take him out. Now stage 3. You'll face one of 3 possible pets. Liz was who I faced, but it could be Ralph or Rampage, and to my understanding this team should work for all 3 of them. You'll use Bone Shard with Chop as the first ability and Blistering Cold as the second. Third doesn't matter. Then Wildhammer Griffin, or honestly any flying type with Peck and Flock. The second ability doesn't matter, and I actually didn't even use my third pet, but put something there just in case. So start off with Blistering Cold and use that on cooldown, then use Chop as a filler. When Bone Shard dies, bring in your second flying pet and use Flock to put Shatter Defense on him, then use Peck as a filler, although I don't even think I needed to use Peck. But anyways, that's stage 3. Stage 4. You'll face Theron Skysong. I used Mechanical Pandaren Dragonling with Breath, Thunderbolt, and Decoy, Sky Bow with Flamethrower, Sticky Grenade, and Decoy, then Lifelike Mechanical Frostboar with Missile, Rebuild, and Decoy. Having pets with decoys is important for this fight. If you have a second max level Sky Bow, you could use that as well instead of the Frostboar. So start off with Decoy, then Thunderbolt, then swap to Sky Bow and use Decoy, then Flamethrower, then swap to your Frostboar and use Decoy, then Missile, and swap back to your Mechanical Pandaren Dragonling, and keep repeating this process until Logic dies. Once Logic dies and you're facing Math, don't swap pets anymore, just use Decoy on cooldown and use another ability. Then Math should eventually die. Now for stage 5. 2 pets will actually come out and they'll be random. So one of the pets will either be Char, Tempton, or Wilbur. It was Char for me, and I used Summit Kid and Little Black Ram against them. Summit Kid with Chew, Comeback, and Stampede, then Little Black Ram with Hoof, Comeback, and Stampede. You'll start off with Chew, then Stampede till Summit Kid dies, then for Little Black Ram, just keep using Hoof, then Char will eventually die. And after facing Tempton, Hogs is supposed to be a good team. Just one Hogs can solo him. Use Stampede, then Headbutt, then Bite, and you'll be good. And if you face Wilbur, use a Zandalari Ankle Render and Zandalari Knee Biter. That should be a good team. You should have or at least get level 25s of these pets because they're used in a lot of teams. But use Hunting Party, Primal Cry, and Black Claw for the Ankle Render, then Hunting Party, Black Claw, and Bloodfang for the Knee Biter. Start off with Black Claw, then Hunting Party, then Primal Cry, then Black Claw. Then your Ankle Render should die. Then use Hunting Party on Bloodfang, then hopefully Wilbur gets taken out. Then the second pet of this stage will either be Ninja, Shred, or Splint. I faced Shred and soloed it with a Dream Whelpling using Sleeping Gas, Toxic Skin, and Emerald Dream. Start off with Toxic Skin, then use Emerald Dream to heal up, then use Sleeping Gas, then Toxic Skin, and hopefully you take him out. If you face Ninja, then use Foul Feather with Peck, Black Claw, and Flock, or any pets with all three of those, and any flying pet with Predatory Strike as your next pet. Start off with Black Claw, then Flock, which will continue, then Peck until your pet dies. Then use Predatory Strikes with your next pet. Now, if you face Splint, use an Unborn Valkyr with Curse Doom as its second ability and Haunt as its third. The first ability doesn't matter. Then use an Infected Squirrel with Stampede and Creeping Fungus. The third ability doesn't matter. Pass your first turn, then use Curse of Doom, then Haunt, then with your Infected Squirrel, use Creeping Fungus, and then Stampede to take Splint out. Now, this is the final team where you have a chance to face different pets. The rest of the dungeon is pretty straightforward. Stage 6 against Alron Hearthshade. I used a Fire Beetle with Burn, Cauterize, and Apocalypse, then Zandalari Knee Biter with Hunting Party, Black Claw, and Bloodfang, then Tricorn with Scratch, Poison Fang, and Sniff Out. Start off with Apocalypse, then swap to your Tricorn. Use Sniff Out, and then Rudy will come in. Pass, and then swap to your Knee Biter. Use Black Claw, then Hunting Party, then Bloodfang to take out Rudy. Frill will then come in, and you can swap to your Tricorn. Now, if Rudy is still alive right now, then take him out with Scratch. Otherwise, use Poison Fang when you swap to your Tricorn. Then you Sniff Out, and Wanderer comes in. Now, just pass until your Tricorn dies, and swap to your Fire Beetle. Use Cauterize, and then pass, and Apocalypse will come down, killing Wanderer. Now, if your Zandalari Knee Biter is still alive, then use Black Claw and Hunting Party. Otherwise, just spam Burn on your target using your Fire Beetle, then use Cauterize when you're below 1000 health. Stage 7. I use a Lovebird Hatchling with Peck, Love Struck, and Predatory Strike, Yu-La with Jadefire Lightning, Emerald Presence, and Life Exchange, and a Lava Beetle with Flank, Cauterize, and Apocalypse, with more than 1460 health. So this is a really long fight, so bear with me. With your Lovebird, use Love Struck, then swap to your Lava Beetle. Use Apocalypse, then swap to Yu-La and use Jadefire Lightning, then Emerald Presence, then Jadefire Lightning again, then use Life Exchange, then use Jadefire Lightning, and you'll want to alternate using Jadefire Lightning and Emerald Presence until your Life Exchange comes off cooldown, at which point use that. Then use another Jadefire Lightning, and then swap to your Lovebird Hatchling. You should have 3 rounds left on Apocalypse. Use Love Struck, then swap to your Lava Beetle. Apocalypse hits, and Crush Face dies. Swap to Yu-La and do it all again. Jadefire Lightning, Emerald Presence, Jadefire Lightning, Life Exchange, Jadefire Lightning, Emerald Presence, Jadefire Lightning, swap to your Lava Beetle and use Apocalypse. Swap back to Yu-La and keep alternating Jadefire Lightning and Emerald Presence, and then use Life Exchange on cooldown. When Apocalypse has 1 round left, swap to your Lava Beetle and Apocalypse hits and Frozeling dies. Now, as you see, I royally messed up here by swapping to my Lovebird and using Love Struck on Frozeling, which meant Apocalypse killed a pretty much already dead Tremor, but I was able to salvage it at the end. You should still have your Lava Beetle out when Tremor comes out, so just flank until your Beetle dies. Then swap to your Lovebird Hatchling if you have to and use Predatory Strikes, and that's Stage 7. Stage 8 is versus Tasha Riley. I use Chitterspine Skitterling with Black Claw and Swarm for the second and third attacks. First, it doesn't matter. Lil Bling with Inflation, Extra Plating, and Make It Rain. Then Microbot XD with an attack greater than 259 with Supercharge and Ion Cannon for its second and third attacks. First, doesn't matter. Start off with Black Claw, then Swarm like normal. Then just pass on the opponent's undead round and Fury comes in. Now, if your Chitterspine Skitterling is still alive, use Black Claw. If it isn't, then don't worry about it and bring in your Little Bling. Use Extra Plating, then Make It Rain, then Inflation, and keep doing that. Use Extra Plating right before it falls off, and then Make It Rain right before it falls off Fury, and then once Fury dies, Glitzy will come in. Use Inflation until your Little Bling dies. Then bring in your Microbot XD, use Supercharge, and then Ion Cannon. So I guess any third pet will work if it has Supercharge and some hard-hitting ability. Then the final stage, Stage 9 versus Pixie Whizzle, using a Cursed Hexer with Chaos Beam, Drain Blood, and Weakness. Now I didn't need to use my back pets, but put 2 elemental back pets that have at least 1600 health, since this boss pet does a lot of back pet damage, and this is just to secure that they won't die during the fight in case you need them. I personally didn't. So this is pretty simple. Use Weakness, then Drain Blood, then Chaos Beam. Keep going with that priority list until Giga Charge Mayhem Maker is dead. And that's the entire pet battle dungeon. Now once you finish with all that, you can then talk to Tasha Riley, and you'll have the option to join the Council of Chaos or refuse. It really doesn't matter what you pick, but if you choose to refuse, she's just disappointed, then you can talk to her again to accept it to get the Minion of Mayhem title. This title can be gotten after your first time completing the pet battle dungeon. You do actually get a toy for completing that pet battle dungeon, which makes you a shadowy figure. Then another toy for completing all the pet battle dungeons, which allows you to take control of your battle pet for 30 seconds. And then you can talk to Bert McClin to complete the dungeon in challenge mode for a shadowy gem. This is the currency to purchase the pets he has to offer, which are Wailing Lasher, Tiny Claw, and Experiments 13. Then the unopened Blackrock supply crate can have pet charms and leveling stones and bandages and whatnot. So there you have it. Oh, and one last thing to mention. I did get all of the strategies for this pet battle dungeon from Zufu's Pet Battle Strategies. This will also give different teams you could use in case you didn't have all the pets that I used in this video. A link to that will be in the description below. If there are any other teams that you use that you might find better, feel free to leave in the comments below. But that's it for the video. If you guys found this video helpful at all to you, feel free to leave a like on it. You can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next video.